Thank you. And this does end the first round. I would say we had full participation in the committee, which we're going to expect at every meeting, right? And I am very pleased with that. I also, in the interest of not wanting to hurt a new member of my committee, neglected to welcome Senator Moran as a new member of this committee. So, well, a returning, well, that's why I didn't say anything, because you're returning. In any event, I didn't want to chance those hurt feelings, since mine have been hurt all day by denigrating my mountains, but we won't get into that any longer. So we're going to go to second round, and we'll do it in the same order as the folks that were here. Before I begin my round, I would like to put into the record a January 3rd support letter from the former chairman of the Suffolk County Water Authority, which states, "The EPA requires strong leadership that balances the complexities of environmental protection with the practical needs of communities across the country. Mr. Zeldin's track record on Long Island exemplifies his ability to lead with compassion, decisiveness, and a clear focus on results. He has already shown his dedication to the values that the EPA upholds, and I'm confident will continue to champion these priorities on a national scale." And I ask unanimous consent, which I'll grant myself, to enter this into the record. I would say there are always no better advocates than our local advocates who actually work with us all the time, and obviously you have a very strong constituency there. I'm going to ask quickly just a couple questions. Class 6 wells, which are used to inject carbon dioxide into deep rock formations, advancing carbon capture and storage technologies, obviously very important to my state. We provided EPA funding through the IIJA to have the EPA grant state primacy for Class 6 wells, since they constitute a different aspect of permitting. And to date, only 3 of these states have been granted Class 6 primacy. And the EPA has 150 permit applications pending for approval. We have 3 Class 6 well projects under review, and the proposed final action granting West Virginia our state primacy was published in the Federal Register on November the 25th. This is going to be very important to us, as we had testimony last year that the North Dakota, who has primacy, was able to permit, I think, 7 wells in a short period of time, whereas the EPA, as they were trying to permit under their federal authority, it took them over many more years the time to permit just 3. So you can see how those who are closest to the situation have the ability to make good decisions. So will you prioritize the timely completion of West Virginia's Class 6 permitting process and work with me to ensure that the EPA is a resource rather than a barrier in this transition?
Yes, Senator.
Thank you. You mentioned permitting, and I was very pleased to hear Senator Whitehouse mention permitting reform. We've had lots of stops and starts over the last probably 2 to 3 years on this very issue, and it's holding up construction of critical energy, manufacturing, infrastructure, transportation, doesn't matter what kind of energy, renewable energy, pipelines, whatever. So we need to make it easier to build in America. I believe that's President Trump's vision as well, by modernizing and streamlining our environmental review and permitting processes. Congressman Zeldin, what opportunities do you see for EPA to be able to establish more efficient and predictable permitting processes, in addition to working with all of the other agencies that play a part in this vital decisions?
And Chairman Capito, that last part of your question is key for different agencies to be able to work with each other, collaborating with each other, and also for agencies to be able to collaborate with Congress on any opportunities that Congress sees to pursue permitting reform as well. As far as EPA jurisdiction goes, we see a role of the EPA, for example, as it relates to environmental impact statements. There are different issues where there will be opportunities for the EPA to follow its obligations under the law. There's a possibility that Congress might choose to make changes to the law on items that are under EPA jurisdiction. I would look forward to doing my part to make sure that the EPA is not holding up any opportunities to be able to pursue sound applications that otherwise would be and should be approved.
Yeah, I think a lot of times in the public domain, permitting reform means to certain people skirting the rules or breezing through environmental reviews without really taking them seriously or actually having them science-based, as we've talked a lot about today. That's not what permitting reform means. Permitting reforms means make these environmental, clean air, clean water rules and other agencies work together and work so that we are getting the right result of clean air, clean water, but we're able to move forward. And so I look forward to that. Here's another West Virginia issue very quickly, and it's the Muddy Creek Restoration Project. It's 19 miles of waterways that has acid mine drainage. And West Virginia went about in coordination with the past Trump administration, and it was initially championed by the Biden administration to deliver real results in cleaning up this area of our state. It was a true win-win. The Biden administration, for some reason, which we can't figure out, flip-flopped on this, and they just started putting more burdensome, costly, and a much, much slower cleanup process. So you're still having your acid mine drainage while we're getting hung up here. It threatens projects like Muddy Creek and discourages other communities from pursuing similar efforts to achieve real environmental remediation and benefits. Will you commit to me, working with me in the state, to try to reverse these counterproductive changes and cut the red tape and restore this for more cost-effective but also better environmental results?
Yes, Chairman Capito, I know how much of a priority this is. You've been outspoken on this issue. It's my commitment to work with you as soon as, if confirmed, as soon as I'm in that position. I'd welcome that opportunity.